Hello everyone, how are you going? And welcome to What the Japanese Think About Canada. Now clearly we already know what the UK thinks, what Australia thinks, and even what the USA thinks. These are all Western countries that really just descend from the same roots, but what happens, especially between these two countries and their history, what happens when you question the Japanese about Canada?
メープルシロップビーバーナイアガラ
自然が綺麗、フランス語を話す人がもちろん多い、寒い
寒いメープルシロップトロント
メープルシロップナイアガラの
まずメープル
シロップね、はい、寒い
広大な自然
ワッフル
Well, right off the bat, there is plenty to talk about there. Just finishing off with waffles is definitely one, but I love the fact that maple syrup is so universal. Just going, yep, obviously it's on their flag to a degree, but it just sticks in everyone's mind as well. But it certainly did not just stop with maple syrup, for goodness sake, just going, it's cold, which is also surprising because Japan, especially up north, can get pretty darn cold, but everyone knows what the true king of the north is. Just Canada just takes the crown worldwide. And there were even some surprising ones, like they've said here, there are a lot of people who speak French, which I definitely would not have expected them to know. I mean, if people know it is great, but just knowing that the British roots are there, the fact that they're just bringing up the fact that they speak a lot of French is definitely interesting. And I mean, of course, we just have to now check out when was this video made 7 years ago. Alright, well, Justin Bieber definitely would have been a bit more of a headlining act 7 years ago compared to now, and just compared to relatively speaking, but either way, he is still, with a couple of others, just the king of pop in Canada. What are the good and bad stereotypes the Japanese have about Canada?
あんまり活動的じゃないアメリカよりアメリカがすごく自由だから隣のカナダはそんなにかな
長生きしそうじゃないイメージだけどなんか景色が綺麗ってことは空気もおそらく綺麗だと思うしそれによってね人間が呼吸する時の空気も綺麗なんじゃないかなと思って長生きしそう、悪いステレオタイプはアメリカ人と仲が悪そう
知り合いが結構留学カナダに行ってるんですけど人がとても優しいっていうのは聞きます
悪いステレオタイプ
はないですねはい聞いたことないです
いろんな国の人が来てるから、その受け入れてくる
悪いステレオタイ
僕はない
Wow.
カナダはどこかないただ
Well, so far so good for Canada, as for goodness sake, not a single negative thing on the horizon. And to be fair, I think that is definitely a shared perspective with the entire rest of the world. Everybody knows that Canada is just a nice guy. They don't like to stir the pot, both internally and also just on a political sense. And that's where a lot of people are going to be getting their ideas from. Of course, we also have the bears, but I think if you are going to be including the bears, you probably should also just be including the other dangerous animals. I mean, moose number 1 kills the most people every single year. And so watch out for that before you watch out for a bear.
留学に行きやすいっていうなんか受け入れられやすいイメージですかね
プ移民が多いイメージがあります悪いステレオタイプ悪いステレオタイプない特にない
そうですねステレオタイプはないです
And so the glowing reports just keep on coming. Honestly, nothing can stop Canada in its tracks just to obtain those 5-star treatment. And to be fair, the fact that it's coming from the Japanese, which are world renowned for also being a very, very nice, very safe, very everything country, just says a lot, to be honest. Ooh, here we go.
どこに
ナイアガラの滝みたい
山が好きなん
ワーホリわかるワーキングホリデー
あはい
でやったら行ってみたい働きには行きたい
行ってみたいなんでかっていうと景色が綺麗っていうねイメージがあるから本当自然好きなのだからね行ってみたい
行ってみたいなって思ったことありますはい
特にどこから行きたいですか
トロントはい
Everybody just wants to go.
中学校の時に英語の教科書に出てきて行きたい
Fair enough.
行ってみたいです
ナイアガラの滝見てみたいです
自分トロントに行って
Interesting.
あとダンスもやりに行きたいです
Dance. why was it to dance? That has certainly caught me off guard. I mean, I understand why some people go, oh, I want to be going to this place because it was in my English book, which I also loved, but why I also want to go there to dance? That is very, very interesting to me. I mean, of course, also going to Niagara Falls is going to be on so many people's bucket lists, and so if you do get to see it every day, congratulations, you can tick that one off. But no, just the fact that everybody seemed to want to go to Toronto is also interesting, because besides, I guess Yellowknife was mentioned, Toronto was mentioned, and Niagara Falls was mentioned. Was anywhere else? I guess the Auroras were mentioned, and if you can do a working holiday, that won't be the worst thing, but really I think that is just the main three, and I wonder why Toronto of all places, not Ottawa, not Vancouver, not so many other places. Why is it Toronto? And also, just pausing it here, I absolutely have to agree with what she said here. It's supposed to have a lot of beautiful nature, because I guess I can't confirm it because I've never been, but whew, I've seen some videos that if they're not AI generated, you definitely want to see for your own eyes. And look, I don't want to be putting words in people's mouths, but I can only imagine that for the Japanese, going from their highly densely populated island of it's like 120 million people or something like that, over to Canada and all its vastness with only 36 million, it's just, you're dealing with a scale that you've never really dealt with before. Oh, here we go.
カナダの有名人
ああ、まあけど一人いますよ、有名なの。
せーの。
ジャスティン。あれ違うの？
J サイドの
テイラー・スウィフト
ジャスティン・ビーバー。カナダですよね。
I said that already.
アブリル・ラビーンもカナダですよね、
はい
ほらアブリル・ラビーン
カナダの国のリーダーの
全然わからない。
誰ですか？
はい、パスパス次々
シュートは何ですか？
ちょっと待って。
せーのオタワ
やばい。
Wow, I just need to pause it there because I'm very impressed. I mean, there was a couple of Torontos in there, but the fact that there are so many even USAs, also known as people from the USA, that do not know the answer to that question. They would say Vancouver, Toronto, I don't know, Saskatchewan, and just all these different things that just aren't true. So considering that Ottawa, the capital of Canada, is for all intents and purposes right next door to so much of the USA, I feel as though there are plenty of people that should know this, and the fact that these guys do is just a pat on the back. Well done.
オタワ
It also has a very well to the Japanese phrase.
オタワオタワ
ポップクイズ。
She'll be fine.
カ
She's
ナダ
fine.
の有名人の一人。
What? You got
やばい
it.
ぞこれは。アブリル・ラビーン。
はい。
わかったー。わかった。
シュートは何ですか？
首都どこだろう。トロント。
あー惜しいトロントはカナダ最大の都市ですねじゃあ 4択でバンクーバー、モントリオール、オタワ、ケベックどこでしょう
モントリオール。
あ
カナダごめんなさい。
カナダの有名人の一人。
いないな。全然わかんないです。
シュートは何ですか？
オタワ。
オタワ。
もう即答でしたね
すごい。最後はポップクイズです。カナダの有名人。
カナダですはい
カナダの首都は何ですか？
違いますか。
オタワです。
トロントはカナダ最大の都市ですねはい
俺が恥ずかしかった。俺も恥ずかしかった。
ポップクイズです。これの方が難しいです。
はい、頑張ります。
カナダの有名人一人。
ジャスティン・ビーバー。
マジか
It's just too easy.
アブリル・ラビーン。
はい。
本当に。イエーイ。
She's absolutely all over it, and so well done to her, but also well done to everyone else, because if they didn't get the answer, they were bloody close at the same time. Just let's say taking Toronto as an example, that's like saying Sydney is the capital of Australia, which, I mean, it might as well be, but it technically isn't. That belongs to Canberra, for goodness sake. And it would be the same thing worldwide. For goodness sake, take New York or California, these big prominent cities that technically aren't the capital, they just have all the people. And if nothing else, they all certainly just took it in their stride, especially this guy, because it would have been an entirely world-crumbling experience to go, oh, I've always wanted wanted to go to Toronto because I read it in my English book and then, oh, it's actually not the capital city. And look, like I was saying, well done to everyone in this video because they got overwhelmingly correct answers, and especially with a country that you're not really affiliated with, it is never going to be easy to answer questions about that. But they got Justin Bieber, they got the vast landscapes, and they also did get the maple syrup, and that is just truly what you have to make sure you get because no Canadian can be complete without it.